Hey, it's Coach T. I'm back with my Week 10 C Sharp Developer Diary video. Believe it or not, we are all still sick. We got over the head cold, and now we have a new, worse virus that's in our lungs. Having two kids in the house is great, although who knows? I could have brought this one home from work, where I work with kids all day. So we're sick again for another weekend, and that means that I'm pretty low energy. You'll probably hear me breathing a little bit harder in this video, and I apologize for that. It's not intentional. It's just literally a chore to breathe. So I'm going to keep this short because I get tuckered out real easy, and I'm probably overdue for another nap. So this week I'm back at work full time. We're doing a lot of data work right away. I'm doing a lot of like proactive coordination meetings. So I really haven't had a lot of time when I get home to study. And that was a known quantity going into the school year. It's totally acceptable. And I'm focused when I'm at work. So when I get home, I'm kind of choosing between, family time late in the evening after the girls go down or practice. And I've chosen family time most of the day. So I haven't done anything really interesting, but I did get to build a little application using some theory, which is not the thing you're looking at. This is what I was playing with yesterday afternoon. I had a little bit of time, and basically, it just lets you move around in a grid-based pattern. What I did is I rewrote the Pygame game loop in C Sharp with the update screen for the console window. It does not like to do this. You can see it flickers really bad. I don't know if I'm going to use it for anything, but it was an experiment to see if I understood enough at this point with classes and methods and return values to create a movement system for the console window. You can see there's collision logic. I can't go any farther to the right. I can't go above. So there's very basic collision logic going on. I have in this, this is an experiment in object-oriented programming. I have a tile system as well where it's not implemented yet. I wrote this as a kind of a curiosity, but basically the game won't let you move onto a tile that doesn't have this value. So right now it's just drawing a grid of those. I didn't actually implement the logic, but I'm just trying new things. I'm trying to extend my knowledge. Obviously, the console is not the right way to build games, and that's not really my end goal anyway. It's a curiosity, and it's easy for me to think about between other things like how might I do this. This project was about me starting to understand more about separation of concerns, and then how would I take in input from the player or the user, I suppose, to maneuver them around in a consistent way. So if I'm starting to look in the next month at maybe using Blazor or Windows Presentation Foundation or Maui, something like that, I'm getting to the point where I'm really starting to be itchy to build another project. While user input is going to be very important. So I was learning a little bit about user input with figuring out how to adjust the current selection of the player. Would I ever use this for anything? I don't know, but I'm really trying to become automatic and confident with properties, with class creation, and also with inheritance, which brings me to the actual project for this week. I built this game, Korg. I backed this like 2 years ago, right when I was starting to build my own games, and it's basically a micro RPG that's on a card. I like it. It's a neat little novelty. It lives in my wallet. I've got like 3 or 4 copies of it because I've given them away a couple times, but I've got one that sits in my desk at work, and I've got one that rides around in my wallet, and I've got the expansion cards as well. And what Korg is all about is it's a very simple rule set. You roll a d6, and the goal is to exceed the target dice for a given monster. But there are a bunch of different environments, and there are a bunch of different monsters. So I thought this was a great opportunity to learn a little bit about inheritance, which was my next object-oriented principle, and also work on doing things like building lists, managing what's contained within a list, validating what's inside of a list to determine whether certain options should be available to a user. And so that's what I built. I built Korg Sharp. So let me return to town. Oops. And I'll show you how it works because I'm proud of it. It's simple, but basically you start with 10 gold pieces and 20 HP. Your name is by default Korg, although that is just by default. It would be trivial for me to go in there and offer a user input option because this is a well encapsulated program. I've got an 80 or 81 rating on the meta-analysis via Visual Studio Code for maintainability. And I really worked on maintaining the single responsibility principle and eliminating the magic number anti-pattern. So those are things I did not know about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but each class is doing one thing, and I was feeling the object-oriented programming improving as I went, like my comprehension and utility thereof. I had originally had exploring and shopping as part of the game class, and then I realized these are really separate things, and so it only took me a couple minutes to turn shop into its own class that instances the shop. And then as you buy something, like let's say I buy a sword, now sword shouldn't be there, although I might be playing an older version of the game, honestly. So I can leave. Let's see if I go back. Shop. Sword's still there. Oh, damn. Whetstone. Okay, so I'm playing an older version of this, but my brother recommended that these get removed, and that was very easy within class shop to do that. So I'll leave. So okay, now if I view my stats, I have an attack bonus of 2. I am handsomely brooding, but you can see I have no armor bonus, no kill count, and I can press any key to continue. And let's go exploring. So exploring was another activity or example of inheritance. So I have class environment, which has name, and then it has a couple different methods, like encounter method that inherits down to all of the different ruins, dark tower, catacombs, fetid swamp. And that was where I really had to start to understand base constructors and using this keyword to modify the derived classes. So let's see, I cannot flee to fight, roll greater than X. X is the target on D6 to defeat foe and get GP, else take damage. Okay, yeah, this is definitely an older version of the game because in the newer version, it then tells you what you need to roll there. So I must have just not uploaded it. That's okay. I'm on my work terminal rather than the laptop that I wrote this on. So let's see, I'll fight him. And I miss with a roll of 2, which is unfortunately not enough. So I will fight it again. And now I won with a roll of 4 plus 2 bonus. So I slay it and I get 7 GP, and you can see that immediately goes up. And now I have a chance to explore again. So let's see, I'll go to the Dark Tower, which is a different environment. And also the monsters that you're seeing, monster in theory, vampire. Wow, I'm just rolling terrible. They are also a derived class of class creature. So each of the monster classes derive downwards from the same class that also is the parent class for the player. And that presented a bunch of unique challenges for me about really learning how parent and child classes interact. And by the end of this, I think I had, 12 inherited classes. I felt very comfortable writing an inherited class off of my base class, but also I really started to learn what is the bare minimum that you need for your base class and how much interplay should there really be. So it was very interesting, and by the end I ended up needing to learn how to override some of the properties available in the parent class, so that made me learn about the protected status, and then also overriding the methods, because with the environment, for example, it's a switch statement that basically reads the roll that you get when you type in explore. It rolls a dice in the background, and then it applies that to a switch statement in the appropriate environment derived class. So I had to learn how to override that, and I accidentally started using some of the polymorphism techniques. So my next topic to tackle here is going to be the polymorphism, which is one of those requisite skills that I guess I really need in order to begin playing with the frameworks more carefully. But I'm really starting to feel comfortable writing out software that has complex interactions. We'll fight and see if I get my 11 GP. I do. I kill him. All right. So Korg, he gets to retire when he hits... There we go. Oh, I fell in a pit. But I get 4... No, I lose 4 gold. Oh, I got the terrible one. All right. Korg gets to retire when he hits 50 GP. It's a simple game. I don't know if I should show it to Caleb at Dungeon Havoc. Oh, I lost my sword. That's weird. Huh. Let's go back to the shop. Oh. What happens if I try to buy another? I can't do that. Okay. Huh. Okay. So, yeah, that's Korg Sharp is what I'm calling it. A few credits. So, yeah, it was Korg designed by Caleb Engelke. I don't know why it doesn't say Caleb in there. That's my bad. Sorry, Caleb. I really enjoy Korg. So, that's it. That took up most of my practice time between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to get that working. But on to polymorphism. Once I get over this, I don't want to try to read anything complicated while we're recovering from this virus. So I probably won't even really practice much tonight. But that's it. Let's see. We're staring at a blank screen right now. My bad. Sorry. Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure what my next project's going to be. I don't know if I use this basic grid format to maybe build some levels or build a random battle system. I don't know if that's worth the effort to go into. But yeah, still progressing. It's been a solid week of learning theory, learning input, learning inheritance, and getting really comfortable with some of the object-oriented design patterns. So that's it. I'm Coach T. There should be more Python videos out this week, and I think I'm going to record a new series of like 3 to 4 videos on utilizing lists if you're doing the Python quick dive course with me. And after lists, we'll probably look at tuples and maybe dictionaries and maybe setting up classes. And then we're going to be kind of approaching the end of the Python basic stuff because it's really only designed to be a basic playlist. And then we'll be on to a new topic at the end of October. So that's the channel, and that's C#. I'm still having a blast. I just wish that I wasn't sick for a second weekend in a row. So if you like this thing, consider subscribing to the channel, do the doodads, blah, blah, blah. And I will hopefully be much healthier next weekend, and we'll be talking about polymorphism.